Wake up, Jesus Zamora. It's the Convo Couch, and I'm Pasta Jardula.
And I'm Fiorella.
Oh, that was. Can you do that again, at least?
Wait.
A little energy.
I have energy. Are you kidding me?
It's late night. Tell the peeps who you are.
Fam, they know who I am.
All right, they do. Everybody knows who you are. We have Jonny Tsunami spinning on the ones and twos, ladies and gentlemen.
God.
It's a Monday night show. I've been out for this Monday night show. You're having different people on, and so many of you guys like Tina that I had to rush back here tonight to make sure I don't get my spot.
Tina.
Take it away. Tina Desiree Burke. She's done this Monday night show with you like 2 Mondays ago. She was on.
Did.
You know what I'm
Sorry,
saying?
I'm trying to share us really quickly.
Share us and share away. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, really quick, if you're on the Convo Couch YouTube, you're in the right spot. But make sure you check your subscription. If you're on the MCSE network, go over to the Convo Couch YouTube. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. We don't care what network you're on. We just want to make sure you subscribe to us because we've been having problems with our Fugazi YouTube taking away our subscribers and really demonetizing everything that we do. So we just need your help to build that up. Also, too, Rockfin, ROKFIN. It is the avenue. It is the platform we would like to move forward on. It has really been kind to us.
Yep.
They are great to the content creators. Nico House loves it. He talks about it all the time. Graham Elwood, Ron Placone, Tina Desiree Burke, more people coming to the platform.
Yep.
It is just great. Yeah. Real progressives coming to the platform, too, as well. There's some news in the making. And, a lot of other people, we hope for some big names to eventually get there.
There's a few people on the right?
There is a Michael Cernovich, I believe his name is. Cernovich? Cernovich.
Not
Cernovich. Cernovich is the liberal. Cernovich is yes.
They all start sounding the same to me.
Jason Burma, I believe his name is. He's brand new to the platform as well. So there's non-establishment politics going on.
Happy birthday to my sister Vanessa. She's 17 today.
What's up, Vanessa? And to all the people over there watching, let's get the show started. Remember, like, share, subscribe. Fam, what's going on with your man, the Burn Man?
It's not what's going on with him. It's what's going on with the establishment. They're so freaking scared right now. They decided today and in the last 24 to 48 hours to deploy attack after attack, calling Bernie a communist, calling Bernie saying that he can't win, talking about how his supporters are terrible, bringing back the snake emoji controversy. And it's just funny. So here is
Barry Weiss,
Barry
your girl.
Weiss. She's my best friend. Her and
Yes,
I would just have wine and talk boys.
Your tandem comes over.
Yeah,
you have a good time.
It's just a big party.
You guys FaceTime with Emma Vigeland. What's up?
Oh yeah, girl.
What's going on? So tell us what Barry Weiss did, fam.
So Barry Weiss wrote this article that talks about how Bernie Sanders is just so toxic. His army is so how he has this army of Facebooks, and you saw the thing, the article that everybody's been sharing, how Bernie has an army on Facebook that's creating memes that are just so vile and so mean. Yeah. And so, of course, she goes on to talk about that. But if you read some of these comments, she just gets owned. Tamisha John, she says a comment I really like. So many of y'all had these pieces ready to go in the event that Sanders started pulling away to win these early states. That it's hilarious. It's a good thing to have an internet army, quote, in my opinion, to spread one's message. Y'all just like to pretend Sanders is uniquely vile. And so they're so focused on the supposed army that Bernie Sanders has. Another thing that they did was write this other article by the Washington Examiner. Now, this one by the Washington Examiner claims that Bernie Sanders is communist. It says Sanders has been an unabashed apologist for communism, an evil ideology. He is not the nice Nordic-style democratic socialist he claims to be. He is almost certainly an all-out Marxist.
Yes.
I mean, it's just hilarious. What do you think about it? I mean,
it's so funny because, remember when we talked about this, the whole thing, the really good thing about Tulsi running is that she's very exciting and it brings another element to the game when it comes to the progressive side. But I was really prepared to talk about a lot of this when I was like, okay, Bernie Sanders is going to run in 2020. We got to explain to the majority of people, our parents, their friends, that communism, that Bernie Sanders really isn't a communist, that he's a democratic socialist. And everything that has helped you excel in your life economically and financially has come from what? A democratic socialist and FDR who had the White House. That is all he is. We have Social Security. We have a police force. We have a fire department. So I got ready for all this stuff, but fail it not, fam. Here it is, out of the woodwork. They are here. Do we got a pink dolphin or a malarkey or anything? Thank you so much. That's what I feel about that one.
Well, I just want to point out, my parents hate communism, but they know that Bernie Sanders isn't a communist. And it's something that I find laughable, because if you put Bernie right now in the UK, let's say we put him in the UK at the line from most conservative to a leftist, he would be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
pretty much. I mean, his brother Larry Sanders is to the left of him.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious that they know what communism is. I can understand if you're a normal person, like a working class person, and you don't know the differences between socialism and communism.
Yeah.
But these people that are writing these articles, they know. They're just ready. They're just
why,
willing
fam? Why are they so sophomoric on their attacks? I mean, I listen. I know how I would attack Bernie Sanders if I was going after him, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say it right now, but there's a couple areas they haven't even gone near. It's like, wow, okay. You know, say if the candidates I like, it's like nobody's even going after them the right way. You know, and these are just like so stupid. It's the age. It's the fact that he's a communist. Haven't we been down this road before? You know why they can't
attack him on foreign policy? Because their foreign policy is 10,000 times worse.
Yep. So what else we got?
So Thea is with Bernie. Wrote this in response to what Neera Tanden put, because these are people that have been talking about Bernie, and this is a response. Go fuck yourself with a chainsaw repeatedly, and maybe your tax returns will fall from your bowels. I hate you. And wait, this one. Bernie is such a cuck. Liz Warren pegs him with a strap on national TV, and he's like, yes, mistress, F me harder. Can you believe this? This
Ian
is what
Miles
they're writing.
Chong.
This is still with her.
Okay. Still with her.
Women's March, that old senile fake Jew was there, of course. He loves attention. It sickens me that liberals see him as a leader. Isn't that a little anti-Semitic, to say the least?
Bit, but you know.
Bernie supporters are dumb mother, and Bernie is their useful idiot. Okay. So you see, these are the attacks from the establishment. However, you're seeing constantly how Bernie supporters are the ones that are awful and mean. Now, you as a Tulsi supporter, I know you've experienced some wrath from certain Bernie supporters, and I 100% see that.
Yeah.
However, the majority of these people that the majority of the Berners are focused on are the centrists and the Warren people and the Biden people and the Pete Buttigieg. And what they're being painted as are people that are just mean and vile, and they're even claiming that people are going canvassing and demanding that they vote for Warren, talking about Warren. None of that happens. And I know because I'm on the ground, and none of that is true. You can't even talk about opponents when you're canvassing. You can't even mention other people.
No.
And so
this is all the Twitter wars, everything that's out there and whatnot. You know, the funny thing is, too, is that, I always say there's always vile people on all sides, right? Okay, so there's vile Tulsi people that we see out there that we don't like, that we don't agree with. There's been people who've been thrown out of chats that I know of because they don't like their rhetoric and the way they attack other people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They say that's not the spirit of Tulsi, the Aloha way. And you say the same thing with Bernie Sanders, whatnot, and stuff like that. But the funny thing is, the neoliberal, the centrist that we see over there, I don't even see any of them who've coming with any like legit attacks on Bernie Sanders. They're all below the belt, or they're just stupid.
But then they complain about the Bernie supporters attacking below the belt when they're really talking about policy most of the time.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Warren's Medicare for All isn't Medicare for All. I'm sorry. That's a fact. I don't care if you like it or not. It doesn't matter. It's about the policy differences that they're bringing up in response.
Yeah.
And so it's a form of gaslighting, and it's disgusting. So I want to move on to
there's another one up there.
What
I clicked on it?
Yeah, I want to move on to what the Atlantic wrote, because they wrote an entire article talking about how Bernie can't win. But it's David Frum,
too. This guy who was like, this guy was a Bush guy.
Exactly.
This guy was like for the war. He thought the Iraq war was successful of sorts.
Yeah.
The whole, Wolfowitz doctrine. This is who this guy is right now, and he's writing for the Atlantic. But go right ahead. Let's just tell him how awful Breitbart is, but at the same time, you allow shit from the Atlantic come from neocons who served on W's staff. I'm sorry,
Let me just read a little bit of it, because I can't stand most of it. So it says, left but not woke is the Bernie Sanders brand. If anybody failed to recognize it before, nobody can miss it now. Last week, the mega podcaster Joe Rogan endorsed Sanders. The Sanders campaign tweeted a video of the Rogan endorsement from Sanders' own account. That tweet then triggered an avalanche of disapproval from other voices in the Democratic coalition.
Other voices.
And then it says, Rogan is not an ally to the cultural cause that have come to predominate on the contemporary left. He even mocks many of those causes while also dancing around conspiratorial thinking of the left and right fringes, 9/11 denialism, Obama birtherism, and speculation about dark deeds concerning Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation. He's a conspiracy theorist.
That's what we do.
Because he talks about the truth surrounding Hillary Clinton's background and how nefarious it is if you really go researching it. And 9/11, which we all know 9/11, we went to war based on a lie. And as more and more information comes, there's a lot brought up to question. Yeah. But that's a conspiracy theory, and you're fringe if you talk about that. Now, I want to talk about this because we didn't really get a chance last time to really go deep into it. This is my problem with the liberals and with some of the neo-progressives, because they get so stuck on the identity politics. On Joe Rogan has a different opinion than me when it comes to, let's say, sexuality, and he absolutely does than I do.
You have an issue with his transgender.
Absolutely. But you know what? That's his belief, and we're not going to change certain biases and belief. What we can do is agree on certain policies that all Americans will benefit from. And he has a wide audience from all over the political spectrum. And he talks to people at a level where they can understand. He's not a politico. He's not a pundit. He's just a guy, a working class guy that got famous for wrestling, right? That's what he was doing.
Well, he was Fear Factor guy, but he also always called the UFC fights for the get-go. He's always been an announcer, whatnot. So he's been around. He's also a comedian. So he was known at the comedian club. So he's been a jack of all trades. Right. But he really did take off with his podcast. But fam, I want to touch upon the reason why there's so many problems with the left. And we talk about even our friends that are on that left, not so much the establishment people, but, those type of people, I hate to say the social justice warriors, we love them, but they fight and they cancel you for one opinion. And you know who else has the same type of problem? Tucker Carlson. Now, the other day I was watching Tucker Carlson's show. He talks about interventionists like nobody does. And he's great with it stuff. And he calls out the money and everything, the hypocrisy of the war machine. He lets Anya Parampel come on his show. Sucks on immigration. He's made some comments and it sucks, whatnot. But that's not the reason to cancel these people all in all. It's to find the intersections which we all agree on, the things that make sense. And when it comes to the majority of things, people like Joe Rogan, they're with us on a lot of issues.
I mean, Joe Rogan, the things they were saying about him, like him being a right-winger.
Alt-right.
The guy has never voted Republican in his life.
Yeah.
Like, never. Where are you getting it from? Maybe because he has guests that are, some of them alt-right, but I commend him for doing that. I don't know, I'm willing to talk to people I disagree with, but some people I really don't like. And it's a very difficult thing to be across people you really don't like and to have a normal conversation. So to me, that's commendable, if anything. It shows a sense of self-control. And, in this interview, we never showed it, but he did have a conversation with Barry Weiss on how he would vote for Bernie, because Bernie has, and Barry Weiss doesn't like Bernie, clearly. We saw her article. But she also doesn't like Tulsi, and he also mentioned Tulsi as well. And it's one of these things where this guy has his pulse much better on what America's feeling than a lot of these CNN, so quote-unquote journalists that sit there and talk, all these, mainstream media news anchors that get paid $30 million a show. They don't know what they're talking about. But this guy, he knows what he's talking about. And that's what's amazing to me. Yeah. And that's why they're so mad. And they don't really care about Joe Rogan having these opinions. They care about the fact that Bernie Sanders as a person, as a politician, is being introduced to all of these people. And they're so angry that there's a sort of kind of outsider kind of unity going on. And they're so goddamn scared of it. They are so scared.
Yeah. I used to be Bill Maher, Lawrence O'Donnell, and Joy Reid, and now Joe Rogan, Jimmy Dore, and Russell Brand. You know what I'm saying? I've evolved and stuff like that, because these people talk about things like normal people, like just, I'm saying, the way they talk about politics, life, individuality, how should you express yourself and how to handle things. They're just everyday guys, whatnot and stuff. Yeah. But I love the fact that Joe is now paying more and more close attention to politics, and the fact that everybody wanted to go on his show, and he was like, nope, only Tulsi and Bernie.
Yeah. That's and then he said he thought Yang was one of the good guys.
He did say
what
he was okay.
He said that. Yeah.
And all those things, and not to get away from it, but all those things on the Atlantic list that they make you think that, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist.
Right.
More and more, the longer we get along the lines, the more information comes out, the more it's less of a conspiracy theory. I mean, the fact is 9/11, like all the hijackers were from Saudi Arabia, right? The majority of them. Yet we still fund Saudi Arabia. We don't have a problem with them. And yet they flew a plane into the building and nothing about it. But, Americans just can't put that together. But the people who can simply piece these pieces together, like a Joe Rogan or a Mike Gravel, they're called conspiracy theorists. And it's bullshit. So
no, that's exactly right. So. And this leads us
don't want to get away from the Bernie story.
No. This leads us on to our next subject, because everybody has been seeing these stories pop up in recent times, because Bernie just keeps surging. In every poll, he's surging and surging and surging. And they can't handle it. Like I said, they're scared. So, people had posted, this girl had posted, no war but class war. And she said, if Bernie wins a plurality but not a majority at the convention and the superdelegates step in to steal it from him, it will be the death of the Democratic Party, and I will not shed a tear for them. And so what I did was I went and I retweeted it, and I said the same thing. It'll be the death of the Democratic Party, and I hope you all stand with me in not tolerating that lack of democracy to the streets. And I want to talk about that, not because of what I said, but the significance of what it means.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are going to tell everybody, stop talking about this. We need to focus on winning. Absolutely, we need to focus on winning. The problem is there are already issues going on when it comes to election integrity. We've seen them here in California. We are hearing about them in Iowa. We know that the establishment is unleashing these set of attacks. They're already making things up when it comes to Bernie Sanders. Look at what they've done to Tulsi Gabbard. Look what's going on here. The pieces are getting into place on this chessboard. And if Bernie Sanders even gets to have a decent majority, they are going to do everything in their power to stop him. Why? Clearly, we are seeing the evidence of that happening. And we have to be prepared as people. We can't just wait until it happens and then have absolutely no plan. Mm-hmm. And I think when it comes to people like Tom Perez picking the super delegates that they did, and Nina Turner said this on a Jordan Chariton's show, Status Quo, that she was ashamed. It was shameful at what the super delegates, what Tom Perez did.
Yeah.
And they're picking the people they're picking. I mean, it's disgusting.
They don't want to change. If anything, they just do it right in your face, and they just hope that you're not paying attention or you're too consumed to work, whatnot. But this is, like you said, the chess pieces are in place. There were 3 dragons. There's still 2 left. Mike Gravel fell off, but Bernie and Tulsi, the dragons, still flying, and they understand winter is fucking coming, and so are these dragons. And listen, let me tell you something. They knew this all along, that they weren't really winning the polls. They manufactured the polls. These are Fugazi polls. Mm-hmm. They fixed them for their own benefit. But now they see these rallies, these events, AOC coming out for Bernie in Venice. It's just growing bigger, 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 and bigger. The presence online. They've seen that a lot of their other candidates have dropped out, and Tulsi's still surging.
Yeah.
Tulsi is surging for a small candidacy. I'm not saying she's a threat to win anything right now, but she's a threat to make some noise. That's why I'm so eager to just get to fucking Iowa. Let's get some voting going on, and let's see what happens. Sorry for the F word, but I am excited about it. So.
No, it's exciting, but it's also, we're seeing their picks. We're seeing what Tom Perez and the DNC have up their sleeve, and it just shows us. It just shows us that that they're willing to do everything to stop Bernie, and I honestly believe that 100% to be the case.
I didn't put that Neera Tanden one up there, but the Brianna Greyjoy.
Yeah, so I want to.
She's now a Greyjoy. She's not Joy Grey. she's a Greyjoy. Johnny's one of those. What do you call those? Those Martells.
Johnny Martell.
Johnny Martell. Johnny Martell.
I'm sorry, that's hilarious. Johnny Martell.
Who gave the order? Who gave the order?
Johnny, you are a Martell. Okay.
He is a Martell.
Literally, he's a Martell.
He can spin that. Bah! Sorry, God. Neera Tanden, your fave.
So Neera Tanden and Brianna Joy Gray are at it, and I gotta say, Brie, it's Joy Gray, okay?
No, she's a Greyjoy now.
Oh, pasta.
It's up by the closer to the top, I think. Or did I hit the wrong spot? Let me see. Here it is. Aha!
Okay, and I want to
Brianna Greyjoy.
I want to start with Neera's. This is.
I want to read Neera Tanden's part because I got to do a good.
Okay,
Neera
here we
Tanden
go.
rating.
Okay.
I received death threats, rape threats, People have talked about hanging me from a meat hook. All the stuff that never happened before in 2015 and doesn't even happen with MAGA. Okay?
Okay.
Death threats I've received.
How
was my neurotendon, everybody?
It was good.
Thank you.
It was nasally, just perfect.
Too nasally, but it was
no. It was supposed to be like. She says same. It's in the comment. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We already read it. Yeah.
It's okay. Same, but I would never stoop so low as to blame one of the other candidates running in this race. Ours is the most multiracial working class coalition in this race, with the most to lose if Trump wins. Let's respect the people in this movement and model the unity we claim to value. So this is in response to Your Highness. Mm-hmm. And then
I like the way she phrased that too, by the way. Multicultural working.
She's a great writer. So.
Okay. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Stop. You got to go to the stop one. Yeah, that one. Stop gaslighting. Denying people's experiences in progressive. No one is saying Senator Sanders is doing this, but I've had death threats from supporters of Senator Sanders. And instead of saying that's bad or people should cool it, you engage in classic whataboutism. Disturbing. Now bring me my tea.
Bernie Sanders is the only candidate to ever call on his supporters to be civil. So again, I repeat my request for you to stop gaslighting and erasing the most diverse, most working class coalition in this race. This extraordinary this extraordinary collation deserves more respect.
It's not coalition.
No, it's collation.
But it is a working class coalition, though, too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that's what you were.
Listen, that's the type of language I want to talk about. You know, it's working class people together. Let's just get together. Let's not listen to the bullshit. Let's not listen to the arms of the establishment, because that's all Neera Tanden is. She's an arm of the establishment. She's a Podesta girl, a Clinton girl. She works for all the worst people in the world. She's stupid, and she's nasally. So please with her.
It's your turn.
Oh, great respect for supporters, but demanding silence for people who are facing rape or death threats is not acceptable. And it's not like we forget the snake emojis bombarding a woman candidate just a few weeks ago. I don't know snake math. What does she say now? Is that it? Or is there going to get more?
No, that's it. But I wanted to point this out because I'm sure she I don't know, maybe she responded again, but the snake emojis. No.
Yes.
Snake jazz.
Here we go.
All right. So
we had it, but we lost it.
That sucks.
All right, so
oh yeah, we already went over that. Okay, so let Tulsi Gabbard.
But wait, we didn't go over this here. I want you have to help me out. Right there.
That's what I'm saying. This was what I was reading.
The contested convention?
Because that's what would happen. With a contested convention, they could go to the second round of superdelegates and then vote, overwhelm the people's vote, ignore that.
Yes.
And, of course, not nominate Bernie Sanders.
Superdelegates
exactly.
Too, yes. But he needs to get the majority, so he has 51%.
It's 51. It's 51% plus. It's 50.5% plus 1.
Something like that.
Something like that.
So in other words, if he's hanging at 49% and say somebody has 4%, they can give it to him and he gets over.
It has to be over that.
Yes.
Oh, but you're saying they could.
Somebody can hand him 4% of their delegates.
Yeah, but I don't know who that would be. That's the thing.
Not Elizabeth Warren.
No.
Did you just call me a liar on national television?
That's never going to get old, by the way.
Okay, go ahead.
Michael Tracy has been following Tulsi Gabbard everywhere in New Hampshire, covering her primary, her elections, her campaign, etc. And he wrote on Twitter, in other news, Tulsi stopped by the Bernie field office in Plymouth, New Hampshire to say hello. Very pleasant and mutually appreciative conversation ensued. So, what do you think about that?
Come on. Like, I think we need love music. We need like remember when you did the video with the hearts and the cats? Remember back in the day, the Valentines? That's what we needed for this one right here, because it is just awesome sauce.
I just want to see.
And I would have liked to have been there to see what the conversation was like.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that in New Hampshire, the people will probably be really awesome to Tulsi Gabbard or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And just have some great talks.
So there's two different opinions here.
Esteban Barbosa?
I'm at least 70% certain now she's going to drop out and endorse him if she gets a disappointing result in New Hampshire. She's been dropping some hits lately, like standing up for him in the Warren spot, and her quote I like Bernie tweet and now this.
Yeah, but see, the whole thing is I don't know. I think he's just kind of making a political guess when he says that if she doesn't get a good result in New Hampshire, which I mean is kind of logical. A lot of people feel that if she doesn't get a good result in New Hampshire, she's going to drop out. But I think she's going to get a good result in New Hampshire.
I think she's going to get a decent result in New Hampshire.
New Hampshire's one of those places.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like I said, that word, that libertarian-minded speaking people there. I can't remember who was in the Republican election. I forgot his name, but he in the primary in New Hampshire for the Republicans. What's his name? Abby Huntsberg. What Abby, the daughter?
I forget.
Huntsman, is that her name? Yeah. On The View. Her father won New Hampshire in the Republican primary because it's like a moderate libertarian-minded thinking place. So I think that she could really do good. I still think Bernie's going to win because he's right next door, but I think she could do good.
Right below Esteban Barbosa,
Chris
Baylock says she's taking it to the convention and she is a woman of her word, which she totally is.
She is a woman of her word. But this other one says Tulsi is so clearly Bernie's BFF. The pro-Bernie people who hate Tulsi are so bizarre to me. You don't have to completely agree with her. I don't, but be real. She's closer to Bernie than anyone else running. I 100% agree with that. That's like exactly
FDR.
what I'm saying. Like Henry Wallace.
No, I'm saying the picture's FDR. I know you know that hat is a piece of Monopoly, but that is actually FDR. So,
Yeah. So, fam.
Yes. Can we address some people? Oh, right here. Tulsi Gabbard, because I don't know if we talked about this last time. But
we did mention.
Did we talk about it?
Yeah.
She was excluded from the town hall, but DeVell Patrick was permitted.
Yes.
All right. I didn't know if we got to that or not, but that is up there as well. Let me just say hi to some people over on the Convo couch.
Wow, 120. I didn't expect that much. This is late.
Miss I.A. Justice. Thank you for the super chat contribution. It is always appreciated on the couch. Guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I really do appreciate it.
Check your subscriptions.
We also have Oz LaFave from the land of Oz. Ooh. Washington. Tomorrow, Oz. Rebecca Parson. The Rebecca Parson Project is going to be on the Convo couch talking about our campaign run. She's running for Congress in Washington. Thank you so much, Oz, for the super chat contribution. The DNC and Perez are corrupt trash. Hey, come on.
I just gotta say, to Washington State, they have some great progressives running, and they also have Kashama Sawant. So I gotta say, I love my Washington people. Uncle Crow, shout out to you.
All right, Elijah Freeman. Thank you for the super chat contribution, as it is always appreciated on the couch. Fee loves that so late at night. Tulsi Blackout is in full force.
It is.
And Jai Gabbard, aloha on hanging on out. For the 82 people who are watching on the MCSE network, we love you. Thank you so much. Make sure you go over there. Propaganda. Lock Nira up. Make sure you go over there. I don't know why I did that propaganda because it makes America, democracy. Go on over to our Convo Couch YouTube and at least make sure you're subscribed. You can watch us in both spots. Of course, you can watch us on our Facebook. You can watch us on our Twitter. You can do that whenever you like. We got nobody over here I can't see because my Facebook has slowed down and stalled on out. But sometimes we have some cool people over there. Oh, there's 18.
Oh, hi, guys.
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Fam, Gabriel Ramirez, Sarah Williams, we love you. Tita Conchita, thank you so much, guys. Remember, we are trying to go to all the primaries, as many as we can. We have a GoFundMe. We'll play the video at the end. But yes, let's get on the foreign policy, fam, because we didn't talk about it the other day.
Yeah.
So we got to get Mark Sloboda back on. Foreign policy junkies in full effect. The other day we had Kevin Zeese on. We talked about impeachment.
Mm-hmm.
But something's brewing up, fam.
Yes.
And it's brewing up pretty bad. And this is why it's so important going into this next election that Donald Trump's re-election or a neoliberal Democrat is just going to be awful. Because what's going on in the Middle East that's really heating up is what's going on in Iraq. The other day, they just had a 1 million-man march. Now, I'm not sure if they got close to 1 million people, but the Jerusalem Post, we're going to put it up here, says 1 million-man march in Baghdad against U.S. presence in Iraq. And it's all about this Iraqi Shia cleric named Muqtada al-Sadr. I got to say it right because my friend said it right. It's not, no, you don't say the R, it's Sadr. So he calls for a peaceful demonstration to condemn American presence in the violations. I also have the troops up there. As far as how it looks, Johnny, there's a tweet down below, not that, below that one. and it's going to just show the crowds, I believe.
I think you passed it.
Yeah.
There it is.
I also have it separately too. I have it separately in the folder, the picture of the protest. That's a small little video of what's going on. We have some good Twitter pictures too as well. It's just ridiculously big. Yeah, the people in the streets.
Wow, we need that here. It's just endless crowds of people.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They want us out, fam.
And
they
then
want
the
us
pictures are intense.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that is insane.
Yeah. Right there, Johnny. Look at this. Yeah, he's on it. Watch these pictures, guys. Look at that, okay?
That's crazy.
Once again, peaceful demonstrations. This cleric is doing it the right way. He ran for their prime minister position, but the way the Iraqi parliament, it's a little confusing the way it works, but he's one of the favorites there. He is a Shia, but he's a peaceful cleric, and he just wants America out. He also wants any foreign influence out.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people think he can broker a peace deal, because the fact is maybe the United States will say, okay, I'll leave if everyone else leaves. I mean, it's all foreign entities, and they get on out. Now, the reason why this is so important, fam, we talked about this because here's an article in Zero Hedge, and it talks about it. 20,000 U.S. troops have surged into the Middle East since last spring to counter Iran. And you can see right off the bat, there's this nice graph, and it shows you the green graph. Right there. Look at how many people we have there. In Kuwait, we have 16,000. Bahrain, 13,000. Afghanistan, still 13,000. We're not leaving the opium. Qatar, 13,000. Iraq, 6,000. The Harry Truman aircraft, 6,000 deployable men right there in the ocean. UAE, 55,000. The U.S. Bataan, the amphibious group, 44,000. In Jordan, 3,000. In Saudi Arabia, 3,000, and that number's going up. Syria, 700. And Oman. I don't even know how we have people in Oman. But it's really shocking, Johnny, if you go down a little bit right here, I'm going to read this right here. It's what's said, because, Donald Trump campaigned about Obama's wars being so just stupid, wasteful, dumb wars. In fact, on that debate in South Carolina, the Republican debate, when Donald Trump called George Bush's brother, Jeb Bush, the Bushes liars, they knew about it. They lied about it. I wanted a Democrat to do that. I wanted Nancy Pelosi to do that. But, at that time, it was like, somebody call these people out. But General Frank McKenzie, he says he addressed the question of any potential drawdown of the extra forces. We'll work that as we go ahead, he said, underscoring the Iran constitutes a serious threat. He admitted, I'm not sure how long we're going to stay in the theater. We'll have to work that out as we go ahead. Could be for quite a while, could be less than that. Just don't know right now. Mm-hmm. Fam, they intend to never leave.
Yeah.
They don't want to leave. They don't want to leave. They want to keep our presence there as long as we can. And I just put this up, and it's time to, and this is where we could beat them. I told you I saw on Crosstalk, Soraya Voss, and she's running for the Libertarian candidate. She's like, I supported Donald Trump, but I won't support him this time because Donald Trump is not a non-interventionist, okay? He is folded completely to the military-industrial complex, period. And that was said by the great Craig Pasta Jardula on 125, 2020. But I just want to put it out there, fam, because this is an area where we can get him. And I also want to talk about the fact that this is why I think independent media is searching for them more than anything. It's what Kevin Z said to us the other day. And I know Johnny will get a load of this. It's when he talked about it. It's the secret empire. We just got to call it what it is. Monroe Doctrine, what we're doing in the Middle East. We're an empire, are we not?
That's exactly what we are. And we are Rome falling right now. That's what we are.
Yeah.
We're at Rome in its last decades of existence before it completely fell apart. And that parallel has been made many times before, but I don't think it's ever been as obvious as it is now. The people are unhappy. They're starving. They really aren't going to take it anymore, I think. Is it enough? I don't know. And that's why I was raising the question of what happens if Bernie gets cheated or if the whole thing is rigged. Because you can't just keep taking that. You can't just pretend that didn't happen and go back and pretend your vote matters anymore. It happened to us once. We kind of pushed back. Not enough people were awake or, woke enough to figure it out. Not enough people cared. It's 4 years later, 5 years later for a lot of people, and things have gotten worse.
Yeah.
And so we really don't have much time at all. And so I think that adds another layer of desperation too right now. When the working class is unhappy, the people at the top have a very, very precarious situation.
Yeah, we talk about late stage capitalism. We also got to talk about late stage empireness, or whatever you can say, whatever the case may be. It's we're still just going around the world stealing natural resources, and when it comes to it's just terrible because Iraq is going to be the next hotspot, and you're going to see it's going to be excuses. We'll never give up Iraq because we want to hold a boot to the neck of Iran, and being right next to them is very important, especially since the bosses in Israel say we got to do it. So that's what it is. And here's the thing too as well, because I also like to talk about the subject that when it comes to the president, the majority of his or her power is within foreign policy decisions, right? So that's why we love Tulsi Gabbard so much. We hold her in such high regards because we believe she's one of the best on foreign policy. But let me tell you something. If Bernie Sanders has a chance to win this, it's also uber important because even if you have some criticisms about his foreign policy, so what? But it doesn't make a difference. He's still far and beyond Donald Trump, because can you name one area of foreign policy where Donald Trump has either pulled away troops or backed out of or got out of? No, he's also got now the intense actions in Venezuela, Bolivia, Afghanistan, he's still there. In Syria, even Syria, he's still there.
And then with Iran.
With Iran.
It's just ridiculous. And
he talked to Kim Jong-un, though. Give him the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah. Exactly. And even with immigration and relations with Mexico, that has soured too.
Yeah.
And also his trade. He campaigned on getting rid of NAFTA, and he pretty much made a new NAFTA, and it's not good enough. And so you
talk about incrementalism.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Like
he's not who he said he was going to be.
No, he used our farmers as hostage. He put them in the line of fire. They suffered. And he gave them nothing at the end of the day. They get to go back to work, and they pretty much, you went on strike and you got nothing. But just in closing, real quick in this subject, I just want to have this little video I have here. This was the the Tulsi Gabbard, Dennis Kucinich, and Stephen Kinzer. And watch what he says right here when it comes to what a president can do and how much of a change they can make with foreign policy.
A president can really make a change. A president can really reorient this country, as we've seen already with the clumsy efforts of our president. Look what the mess he has gotten us into. Look where he's brought us. I'm telling you, foreign policy is the place where a president can make a dramatic difference in a way that no president will ever be able to do in the next 4 years in domestic policy. So I hope that leads some people to think that if we really want to change this country, there's one way it can be done simply by electing a new president. And that means changing completely the way America faces the rest of the world. And that would be one of the most profound changes that we could possibly make to bring us back to being the country that we once dreamed we wanted to be.
Expose and crush the secret empire, fam. That was some big things, because he even said what a president can do right away with foreign policy, right away. Because that's where the power lies. It would almost take 4 years to equate what we can do, and we don't know that for exactly. We don't know what could happen. And hopefully, when Bernie gets in there, we could put the screws to people and get some Medicare for all. But once again, the process is a lot longer than foreign policy. I'm sorry.
No. This is why the process is so important. And the VP. Who the VP is, who the Secretary of State is. If we're going to have a Secretary of State that is a status quo, neo-progressive, that is only progressive when it comes to domestic policies, but really, doesn't do much when it comes to foreign policy, that's a mistake. We have the opportunity right now to start anew, not only domestically, but also abroad. And of course, as you all know now, those two are connected. You cannot separate the two. And he is right entirely. Like, the moment you become commander-in-chief, you're in charge of the armed forces. You're in charge. You have a lot more say in the military. And I think that's what is scary, because whenever you threaten the military-industrial complex and the DNC establishment that is tied to that military-industrial complex, as well as a majority of the right as well, you are threatening their livelihood. They're a very luxurious livelihood, but either way, that's what's happening, and you have a target on your back. And I believe that's why people like Tulsi Gabbard and Bernie Sanders have certain targets on their back, especially Tulsi Gabbard, because she specifically called out the Clinton machine.
Yeah, and she also was the one to call out Iran more than anybody. And I don't care about her initial vote. It was the wrong vote when she was for sanctions in Iran, and then eventually she pivoted, she changed, and she got it right. And she has been by far the most vocal in saying we have to drop these draconian sanctions when it comes to Iran, get back on the table, get in this deal, and make peace with the Iranian people. And she said it more than anybody. We had the numbers that did it, and that's why she's been so key when it comes to this stuff. And even the Venezuela situation with the sanctions, lifting these sanctions, they only kill the poor people, and we really need to change the way we do our foreign policy. So, now listen, this is not going to worry. We don't have to worry about Crow, because the coronavirus won't get him. He only drinks Tecate, right? So he ain't got no corona. I saw that meme. Coronavirus. I only drink Modelo, motherfucker. So,
that's hilarious.
Where did it come from? And what is it capable of? Because it is not a laughing matter whatsoever.
See, I was kind of going to ask you and Johnny this, because I was wondering, because I've heard from people are exaggerating this. It's not a big of a deal. And then on the other end, it was like, no, this is way worse, and they're letting you know. Then the Chinese government is letting the people know. So which is it? I don't know. Maybe somewhere in the middle.
Well, even if you do know, what can you do? You can just, no matter what, you got to hope it ain't for real. And if it's for real, duck under the table. Johnny, go ahead.
Johnny Duck.
Okay.
Johnny Ducks.
So last show I showed you the CDC website
Yes.
here, and this is what we saw. It says Chinese authorities identified a new coronavirus, which has resulted in more than 1,000 confirmed cases, including cases outside of Wuhan City, which they quarantined recently. I'm going to show you a video about that.
We talked about that.
And then 5 cases in travelers as of January 26th. Now I'm going to refresh this, and let's see where we're at. Okay.
Where we at?
Additional cases have been identified in a growing number of other international cases. There are ongoing investigations. Where? They're not saying there's more than 5 cases. Where is it? I know there's more than 5 cases now.
Maybe they just haven't updated it.
They've been screening though, and is it in LAX too, Johnny, as well?
They've been screening in all the airports. All right, let's just take a look at the videos here.
Okay.
Here's one of the guy who lives in Wuhan City. He's an American professor, and here's
Hi,
what it looks like.
how are you? My name's Ben Kavanagh. I live in Wuhan, and today I'm going to go to the shop. One mask, another mask. Apparently this mask actually doesn't do much, but 2 masks is always better than 1. Can't forget the most important thing, and the silliest thing. Got a big backpack. Got a big suitcase. Got my gloves. I'll wash these when I get home, just to be safe from all the stuff I'll touch on my way. Oh, it's pretty hot. Pretty warm. I don't expect to run into anyone today. I'm not going to touch them with my hand. I'm just going to knee it. It's open? Yeah.
All right, so we can kind of see.
Another beautiful day in quarantine Wuhan. This is a city with a population bigger than London. This is usually a very busy street.
What?
All these shops would be open. Lots of noise.
There's nobody
Surrounded
there.
by apartments. And yet, there's no one on the street.
So usually
so
that's like
quiet.
a bustling street.
Dude, that looks like a zombie apocalypse film.
So he just keeps kind of walking around.
I
showing
mean,
you
there's a
footage.
couple cars. But other than that, don't need to look left and right. There's no cars.
That's his friend. They're going to the
Hello.
market.
Hello. How are you?
I'm well. Are you well?
I'm well.
Got your suitcase?
Got my suitcase. It's very large.
But obviously not today. Not for the foreseeable future.
He says that. Hold on, where is it? Everyone's wearing a mask. Everyone's wearing a mask.
Not one of the big ones. Just a standard hospital. There's loads around Wuhan, but we're pretty sure it's closed right now.
Why would the hospital be closed?
There are still cars, but cars like this, we think they're bringing people to work. The punishment for driving is a fine and potentially losing your license. So these people must have good reason to be driving.
All right, so you heard that. Fine was a fine, I mean, and potentially losing your license. Yeah, he goes to the market. Some people there, they're wearing gloves. Everyone's wearing a mask. The guy was filming too. People are blogging it, you know. They go to the market. Okay. So
that's Wuhan.
That's Wuhan. And then
the eerily empty streets of Wuhan in the Hubei province. It is a city now in lockdown as it battles to contain a new virus never seen in humans before. But it emerged just hours ago that before the authorities introduced measures to stop the spread of the novel coronavirus, 5 million people managed to leave. And China...
What?
5 million people left Wuhan city before they quarantined it.
What?
The National Health Commission said today the virus's ability to transmit was getting stronger.
From our observation, the disease can be spread during the incubation period.
So it can be spread during the incubation period, the period where you don't know you have it.
Right.
And that's the incubation period. So it can be spread through that. Now, what the site was saying is that there's only like 50 casualties out of the 2,000
That's not
cases,
very high.
Something like that. It was something like that. But it looks like mostly it's like basically like if you're already sick with something and then you get sick with the coronavirus, there's a higher chance of you dying. But I think if you're healthy and all, maybe you can probably get through it. So maybe it's not a huge deal, but if it's getting stronger, then maybe it gets, I'm not sure. I didn't do the second round of research today that I was going to do, but
yeah, we'll get back to it. But that's...
You got something else?
Or video. They sealed off the city, I believe, in the 16th. The 23rd. They sealed it off. They sealed off the city.
Have these readers been talking about this a lot?
Local hospitals overwhelmed.
Panik yapılacak bir durum var şu anda. Çünkü tezgahlar hakikaten boş.
Cleared out markets. I kind of want to show what mainstream media was saying.
Okay.
All right, let's check this out.
Check this out.
This is going to be fun.
A warning, some of the images in this story are...
Hold on.
Remember the days of SARS, for instance? Now, officials in China think they know where the virus originated. And a warning, some of the images in this story are graphic. Here's Christy Lustout.
Barricaded and guarded by police with masks, Chinese authorities have traced a new deadly virus back to this seafood market in the city of Wuhan. They say a new strain of coronavirus originated here and put an entire region on edge. CNN has obtained this video filmed inside the market showing that more than seafood was on offer for sale. Images of the market from early December taken by a concerned customer indicate it was apparently selling other live wild animals, including skinned birds, snakes, and raccoon dogs, sparking concern that the virus might have been transmitted from animals to humans. CNN has not independently verified this footage posted on Chinese social media site Weibo, which has since been deleted by government censors, according to the poster. When CNN contacted the market, they would not comment. The School of Public Health here at Hong Kong University is a leading authority in the study of...
Now, I mean, some of that sounds a little sketch to me. I was reading from the CDC that it was saying it didn't come from the market, that it just, came from, it could have came from a bird or something.
Not that I'm asking this question because I know we're all about, snakes. Isn't it like coronavirus, like jump to snakes or transmitted to snakes or something? I was looking at something. I was reading around.
More into it. Honestly, I gotta do more research. But
yeah,
I saw them attribute it to snakes. Possibly, yeah. But it's just funny.
And then kind of like the last thing I wanted to show was that they're screening in airports.
Governments around the world are taking precautionary steps in an attempt to control the spread of a recent coronavirus outbreak. Major cities around the world are now screening travelers at airports in hopes of avoiding the spread of the virus.
Well, at airports, what it entails is likely to be there's some sort of thermal screening. So looking, these wands which will tell whether somebody has a fever.
An elevated temperature is just one of the symptoms of this coronavirus, as well as a runny nose, headache, and cough.
And at the same time, I would anticipate that there might be questions asked, whether this will be a form that everybody has to fill out, or questions, or whether something's been posted asking, have you recently been to Wuhan? Have you been in contact with somebody? Do you have these symptoms?
And even though each airport may differ slightly in its screening process, at the end of the day, a lot of the onus relies on the traveler.
One would hope, when we're talking about a health issue, that people would be honest. And the more so because if they do have these symptoms, they need to be under medical care.
A woman from Wuhan, China, the city where this coronavirus first emerged, claimed she had a fever and a cough before a flight to France. After taking medication to mask her symptoms, she was able to bypass temperature checks and screenings.
Well, it's as effective as can be possible, short of taking every single individual and doing a blood test. I mean, we can screen for the likelihood of someone being exposed or having come from an area where they might have been exposed.
So it looks like the screening's not too fantastic. These people in LAX said that she didn't see anybody
this morning. I guess they know because we land from a plane and we go through customs and they know where the plane come from. Maybe that's why they didn't worry too much about us.
But she does wish there had been more warnings about the coronavirus, which has not only sickened dozens of people in China, but also some travelers in Thailand and Japan.
I don't know, I'm traveling here and no one said anything.
Angela Barreto did hear about the virus last night as she was packing for her trip to Asia. She says it's not going to change any of her travel plans, but she thinks health officials around the world should be screening passengers to make sure the virus doesn't spread.
Safety of the people is really important, and
But yeah, that's pretty much.
It's just interesting because I was reading in one article where they were saying that the president was hiding it. The Chinese president was hiding how bad it was.
Yeah, well, they were saying he wasn't taking the serious as it can be. I even saw reports.
But then I saw him literally talking about how bad it was. I'm just like, what?
There have been reports that the Chinese government was blaming the United States intelligence for planting the virus over there to try to kill people.
I mean.
Then there's other talks about the fact that it had a patent coming out of a place in Canada that lost the SARS virus.
Yeah, the patent, yeah.
We went through all this stuff as well, too, because...
I don't know. There's a lot of research to be done.
There's a ton of it, you know what I'm saying? Where did it come from? Came from a pretty reputable person, too, those last two as well.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good doctor. Dev Rob says... on the Super Chat contribution, thank you so much, on the Convo Couch YouTube, the virus will become like AIDS, a pandemic that starts out scary, but eventually becomes a normal part of everyday reality with no mass panic. Thank you, Dev, and thank you, Old Gringo, for the Keep It Up sticker, Old Gringo, and also too on the Convo Couch MCSC Network. So amazing Super Chat contribution, as it is always appreciated on the couch.
It's a little late for that.
Yeah. Hashtag I stand with Tulsi. Hashtag I like Bernie Army veteran. OEF, Operation Enduring Freedom. Thank you so much. So amazing.
Thank you.
And guys on that Convo Couch, on that MCSC network,
go over to the Convo Couch
and subscribe to help us out because we want to get those numbers
Click the
up.
bell because it's not happening.
Yes,
I can't believe we have people watching us right now because it's
we
late.
do. Well, then we're going to go on Monday. Johnny, what else you got?
Time. Well, I don't want to say anymore until I do more research. Do more research. But let's get on to the big update then.
Well, let's show the one Hong Kong thing, though, real quick.
Which one?
The Hong Kong footage and stuff like that. Dan Cohen kind of put that. It should be the first one there. So Dan Cohen reported, and Dan Cohen's pretty good when it comes to this stuff about masked Hong Kong rioters show solidarity with the coronavirus by setting fire to a building authorities plan to use as a quarantine. The U.S.-backed pro-democracy movement continues to show its true colors in Hong Kong. The National Endowment for Democracy, money well spent by using your tax dollars to really fuel a geopolitical
The building
adversary.
Hong Kong rioters torture is being considered as a site to house medical staff fighting the coronavirus outbreak.
Interesting.
That's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah. So, anyways, I just want to kind of put that up for what's going on.
And
in
then here's
Hong
real
Kong.
quick. Here's the patent thing we were kind of looking at. If you guys want to kind of look into that, they have the official patent site here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and once again, it says in 2015, it says that somehow the SARS virus got out of their hands too as well.
A U.S. patent for an attenuated coronavirus was granted not too long ago, as you can see right here. And then if you press on it, it's the patents. Just the,
right? So
the present invention provides a live attenuated coronavirus comprising of very. It's a lot of science. I need to hit up this one chick I know.
Yeah.
It's a chemical.
Yeah.
Chemistry.
Fine, you got the girl in chem class, and she's the aeronomics. She hits you up.
He's got the chemic. He's got the hacker.
That's what I'm saying. When Johnny's like, "What's up with the coronavirus?" I'm like, "You're gonna have to take that one." Like, I'm looking at election integrity in Iraq right now. If I look at the first of all, I would drink Tecate, right? So no, it's not for me.
I love Corona.
What about Vive la France though? Vive France.
Vive la France. Vive la Révolution.
Still going on, by the way.
Fam. So. There have been massive rallies, of course, not covered by CNN and MSNBC and NBC and all these people, because Macron is a neoliberal and people are tired of neoliberalism in France. And so they have been protesting against Macron in Paris, and the BBC could not find a reporter to cover them.
Yes.
Can you believe it? They were all on vacation.
Yes, I know.
So there's just a little quick video, Johnny, on Twitter of the yellow vests, and it's kind of giving you guys an idea of what I picture here in Milwaukee right now. I think everybody should just show up, period.
Yeah.
To show solidarity, to show that if anything goes wrong, Tom Perez, we are watching you. Look at what happened in France in the past, and look at what's happening now, Tom Perez.
Well, we have some good people
Vive
on
la
this
France.
list.
Get the ghillie out. Get the ghillie.
Guillotines.
Get the ghillie out.
Gillies.
And let me just show you also, too, what we have right now. Once again, more demonstrations of the police over there in France. We've heard these reports with the rubber bullets hit people's eyes, injuring them. Here's a picture of a little tweet of the next one over here.
So we've heard that the protesters are mean to the police, is what we're saying. But really, this is what happens more than.
But we've also heard that the police have been really thuggish at times.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
Look at this shit. She walks up, boom, kicked right in the fucking stomach. All he had to do was hit that thing out of her hands and kind of keep her away and give her the Heisman. Instead, he gives her a shot right in.
Oh God, it's disgusting. That's a man going after a woman like that. I mean, it's
Macron's police state.
Yeah.
All right. So the next thing too, as well, we have yesterday we talked about the other day with Kobe Bryant and God, may he rest in peace. His daughter, whatnot,
and then the 7 other people too.
We saw
two little
a couple of the girls, a coach, whatnot.
Coach, the parents.
But we also lost somebody in the
activist community.
Yeah, we did.
Here in LA.
And we made a little video, and we'd like to show you the video. It's a little 2.5-minute video showing one of our fallen soldiers here. And so here we are. January 26th, 2020 will be known to most as the day we lost Kobe Bryant. But to the activists and the justice fighters of Los Angeles, it will mark the day we also lost J. Ariel Cortez. And when I begin to speak about Mr. Cortez, I can only hope that you could take some form of relief, that Jay is no longer in pain, he is no longer suffering, he is no longer in anguish. He has shed away the confusion and the hardship. His spirit and energy have been moved to a restful, peaceful place. And in this swift, sudden departure, he left behind a legacy of spirit that will be remembered in the activist community for a long, long time. Jay was known by some as a California delegate, but he was also known by others as a beautiful neighborhood advocate who had a funny, corny side that always made you laugh. Jay touched so many people with his spirit and his energy, and after reading through so many of the posts that you left today who were so saddened by his passing, I thought it was only appropriate that we leave a proper remembrance of this beautiful spirit. Here is a description listed by Jay himself on his Facebook page. He whispers before he roars. I'm listening to you, little sister. The whimper under your breath. I listen to every drop falling on your pillow each night. I listen. I'm watching you, little brother, and the frustration in your eyes. I see the blood dripping from your hands, pounding on the walls. I see. I'm praying for you, Father. And the confusion inside. I speak the words loud enough to find you and finally bring you home. I speak. I'm living for you, Mother, and for the pain in your heart. I beat thunderously through the calamity of life to pay homage to you and love you purely. I beat and beat and beat again. I cannot stop, cannot sleep. and cannot take no for an answer. In me blood boils. In me suppression takes shape, the shape of a fist that traveled through epochs and eons to land straight through the reflecting monster you hold out for me to see. In me your lies are welcome. In me your disdain is expected. In me your oppression is counted on. Because in me, there is no more to me break down. Hundreds of years of brutality change the animal. It creates, it adapts, it overcomes, and it reproduces. You've been trying to destroy me for centuries, yet I still stand here. And now I move forward, one foot after the other, gaining momentum. Faster and faster I spread. If you've overlooked me, then you're already dead. JC. From everyone here at the Convo Couch, we extend our deepest sincerities to Jay's loved ones, family, and friends. Jay Ariel Cortez, you will be missed. Rest in power, my friend. This is also this thing. Fam, it's better to
I
live
love that.
one day as a lion than 1,000 years as a lamb.
I 100% agree.
Rest in power, my friend.
Yeah, rest in power. And just everybody, just as a PSA, make sure you talk to people that you haven't talked to in a long time. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
make sure to keep everybody in your thoughts and also have a lot of time for self-care, especially the people that are in this movement that have, a lot of things weighing on their shoulders. It's very important that you take time to yourself and your own mental health and your own happiness. That make sure that you talk to people, that you're good, and that you take a break from time to time so you can then come back and help out for the revolution.
Yeah.
So.
And Biggie Small said it best. Life's a bitch and then you die. That's why we get high. That's why you never know when you're going to go. Because you don't. Life is short and it could just happen before you know it. So
I like
you see
Drake's
somebody
version.
you love? What's that?
Life is a beach. I'm just playing in the sand.
Yeah. Well, my word would be just make sure you hug and kiss those people close to you. Tell them that you love them.
Yeah.
Make sure you tell them about the positive things in life. And because like you said, you never know. And just that was a little, we're going to do stuff like this too, because in our field, if it's the mainstream media and some other anchor died, they're going to talk about them. So we're going to talk about the people that in our field and what we see. That's what independent media is about. Once again, we did this yesterday because we felt it was our responsibility to talk about the news and the people who've affected the movement out here. A delegate, a guy who was a neighborhood advocate and did so much.
Yeah.
That's why we do those things. And that's why we are here on the couch.
Absolutely.
So. Okay, let's do this. So we got to talk about the GoFundMe right now. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys have been helping us out. It's been great. Our GoFundMe has been growing. We're in it now at $21.64. Of course, we need to get higher. We must go higher, my son, because it costs a lot of money to go around and do these things. So generous donations from our amazing fams.
Fams.
Cue the confetti and the music, please. Thank you, fams.
Wait.
I'm reading here. You said, let's go.
Wait.
Oh, my Lord, Jonathan.
I can't find the music.
You see this? The other day he told me, let's make sure that we get the...
son of a... I'm in.
Rick Sanchez, you son of a bitch, you.
I'm in.
Let me go find this area.
Snake jazz.
We're going to pull this up. We want to make sure that we say thank you to the people who really have helped us out. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to go to all these spots. We're going to go to New Hampshire. Here it is.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, my gosh.
You want to go to
Johnny, I'm ready to rock and roll with this thing over here. You know what I'm saying?
Johnny Rock.
2264. Whoa.
I have to get so many things ready. Okay.
Guys, Mitch Osborne and Alexis Colombo, 2264.
Wow, thank you both.
We were reporting 2164. And look at that. Yeah. There we are. We want to read the names. Alexis Colombo, Mitch Osborne, Stephen Fisher, Dennis McCartney, Hala Ismail, Valentine Guerrera, Kenyatta Miles, Sarah Darvell, Anonymous, Zachary Cavazos, Stephen Wilbrand, Kim Mullins, Cullen Tiernan, Gail Alshoster, Danny Thompson, Robin Gibbons, we love you, Glory Jones, Michael McElroy, Allison Irvin, Jacqueline Pegu, Janine Roan, Glory Jones,
Wow.
Stephen Wilbrand, K. Aaron Daly, Mark Raposa, Diana Schoenbeck, Tony Clay, Andrea Trust, Deborah Mays, Anonymous, Andrew Heerman, Todd Jones, Cynthia Price, Anonymous, Gregory Marsh, Howard Gold, Damian Lopez Gaston, Chris Baylock, Anonymous, Anna Mars, Anonymous,
You guys,
Jack Chevalier,
this is at night.
Anonymous,
And this is
Eric
on-
Ucker, Sarah Williams, Cornelius Felix, Brett Roberts, Rich McGee, Kim Mullins,
No
James
wonder Ron
Boyajan,
ran away.
Steve Wilburn, Caitlin Easter, Gilbert Galinas, Sheila Masseur, Allison Irwin, Jackie Pigal, Tony Massey,
Thank you, Jackie.
Charles Barrett, Ray
Twice.
Dion, Anonymous, Anthony Hallen, Elizabeth Scott, and of course, last but not least, Todd Southern.
I'm surprised I didn't see Nira Tanden's name on there.
She's going to give. I got a
Okay.
feeling. Nira, you got the link. Guys,
on.
listen, that was great. That was just fun doing that right there, too,
Yeah,
as well. I had a great
that was
time.
hilarious.
The confetti, the music, the whole 9 yards. We need more, guys. It's not that we want to go to the track here, make some bets. Everything is so expensive.
I wouldn't even know how to do that. to
Well, I
begin
would,
with.
and stuff like that. Now, what we're going to do right now, just coming up so you guys know, is that we're going to send Fiorella to the Iowa caucus.
Huge updates.
Huge updates with Tina Desiree Burke. The two of them are going to go out there.
Mhm.
Hopefully they'll run into some people. I hear we have some people from the Action for Assange group. Christy Doff might be out there. Dak Rowlou might be out there. Of course, we have our friends. We have our fams.
Hold on, fans. I made a video.
Oh, wait. Johnny made a video.
Jo-
Johnny
news to me.
Here we go. Johnny's video.
Johnny video.
Bam.
5527, runway 8 kilo, you're clear for takeoff.
Look at your picture on it.
Oh my god.
Look at your picture on it.
Oh my god, that's freaking hilarious.
Ah.
Oh, that's hilarious. My little
So-
picture is.
So Fiorella is going to Iowa. Okay, the reason why we're doing that is because we have the second major move. We're taking our resources and the whole fam. We're going to New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire says yay. Do you have a video?
Yeah, I did.
Johnny's got a. This is some Monday night shows, guys.
Really funny. All right.
Here we go again. Monday night show. Here's the
This
second
is
biggest
hilarious.
move. This is awesome.
Oh my god, I'm gonna die.
Oh, fam.
Fam.
5527,
Oh, look
runway
at
8
this.
kilo,
There you go. There you go. Hey! You know, this is why independent media is so important.
Fam.
Strong arm attachment of the deep state and the CIA.
Oh my god, I'm dying. That is hilarious.
Did you,
oh my
did
god.
you guys,
is so
that
funny.
wasn't us talking in the back. That was actually Johnny. Johnny, can we play it one more time? We're going to be quiet and just let you hear. Listen to the vocal. Listen to the conversations with the baby. Fam.
Fam.
5527, runway 8 kilo, you're clear for takeoff.
Fam. You know, this is why independent media is so important.
Fam.
Strong arm attachment of the deep state and the CIA. I'm going to get thrown off the plane, right? I'm going to get thrown off the plane
You
for
guys,
talking about the deep state.
You guys, wait a minute.
Oh, my God.
Now they know that we're going.
Yes. We're
Okay.
done.
I'm sorry.
Now, guys, we're gonna produce.
I'm scared for the
don't-
plane.
We're gonna purchase some equipment, like maybe some shotgun mics, a few things to really. We have some equipment that we really can take with us, but right now we haven't raised enough money to get ourselves a new camera. That was one of the intentions. If we were able to hit a certain point, now we can still get there, but that's down the road. And in this particular case, we're trying to meet the good combination of quality and quantity.
Mhm.
Yes, we want to get the best stuff we can get to take on the road, but also we want to be able to go to as many places as possible because the end game is to make sure that we capture any of the shenanigans going on footage for
Yeah.
you guys so we can report it to you.
And I just want to say we are already hearing that the Iowa caucus precincts, the locations are being changed and people are confused as to where to go. And this is being confirmed. Not only I saw it on Joy Marie Mon's status, but also people on the ground. The Wisconsin for Bernie group has been following that, and there's a situation there that I think it's important that Tina and I are gonna cover, and we're excited to be there. with all of our progressive family, and it's going to be cold, and I hate the cold. So that is a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I'm kind of pushing to go to like primaries like Hawaii, because it's nice and warm. And we go there in April.
I'm a Floridian. I'm
like
not, and then I live in California.
Yeah.
It's like I'm definitely not used to the cold.
Gonna go out there, see my boy Jai, and drink some great coffee on the beach. Just woo, and stuff like
Jai,
that.
by the way, I like the blonde roast myself.
And guys, let me tell you something. It was really awesome to go on to this GoFundMe. We said $21.64, and to see two people leave $50 each to get us to $22.64. That's what it's all about. We so appreciate that. And the more you do this for us, the more we're going to get out there. You know us. We're going to ask the right question. We're looking in the right spots. And let me tell you something. When it comes to election integrity, there's this crew right here is where it's at. Nico House, this is where it's at. You want to know people who know election integrity, and we're learning more. We're talking to the experts. Tomorrow we're going to have on Maria Estrada on the show, and she was really a victim in her area, in her district, of some serious screwery when it came to the elections. A lot of provisional ballots.
It's happening again.
Yeah. Oh, there's stuff going on.
Yeah.
There's stuff going on with that. But listen, we also want to show this clip real quick. It's a quick clip, and it's Michael Tracy. Michael Tracy, goes around. He follows a lot of Tulsi, but he talks about the importance with Jimmy Dore of supporting independent media. 2259.
Give to me, great. I need it. Yesterday, Tulsi, in the way this made me think of you, Jimmy, but she was asked about the corporate media and the way they sort of manipulate narratives and how they just use kind of fallacious premises to delegitimize those that they perceive as enemies. And she said that what needs to happen is people need to tune out of corporate media, and that's happening more and more. This is what she said, and they need to go to alternative and independent media, such as you and to such as me, of us. And I'm
right.
Even though I try to keep my one foot in sort of somewhat more traditional media, right? But nonetheless, fundamentally, I'm independent. Nobody tells me what to do or what to say or what to write or think. So if you're out there watching this and you want some counterbalance to these prevailing narratives, then support your local independent media. It doesn't have to be me. Doesn't have to be Jimmy, but just incorporate that into your thinking in terms of how to achieve some kind of change in this area. And if you want to give to me, great. I need it. There's not that many people who are doing any kind of remotely defensible Tulsi coverage, so it would help me. But again, it's not really about me. It's just about sort of changing the mindset. So I'm not saying go to my Patreon or my PayPal right away, even though that would be helpful. I'm saying invest in your own way in sort of changing how this manipulation can run so rampant.
Well, it's changed.
There you go, right there. The manipulation. This is let me tell you something. It really makes me proud, and it really makes me feel so just great inside. Hoot Hoot Burns, congrats on you guys raising the money to hit the ground running. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, Hoot Hoot.
Supporting the independent media, what they're talking about right now. We're the alternative to the narrative. And it is some programming bullshit. It's propaganda. The other day, I watched 90 minutes of MSNBC and CNN.
Are you okay?
They're doing, it's really bad. And then you get hit with the commercials. And the commercials are another form of programming.
Raytheon, Big Pharma,
yes.
Big insurance companies.
But even if you don't buy this makeup, you're not cool. If you don't go to this restaurant, you're not good. You don't know what you're missing. So it's like all this programming of getting into and programming people for consumerism. Right? And then you got the whole just say it again, it will stick. Say it again, let's stick. It's not news, it's propaganda. All news is suspended, and they're trying to make like this impeachment like the World Series. Like, we're coming to you live with the panel, the impeachment on the floor, and they show the corner with Adam Schiff over there giving the worst performance possible, and then people praising him. And that's all they do is they keep kissing each other's ass, reinforcing their lying narrative. And that's what they do.
Hey.
So if you want the alternative, come with the Convo Couch and help us out.
And on that note, if anyone tries to tell you that Adam Schiff is an American hero, tell them to look up his fucking record on his votes on Trump's military budgets, the non-discretionary authorization acts.
Yeah,
he's an American hero.
National Defense Authorization Acts.
The NDAs.
But the way he goes after Trump.
Yes.
American
You
heroes
gotta
stand for our
understand.
values.
And you know what they were saying? They all got the memo. Powerful statements from Adam Schiff. Powerful statements. It's like Peter Lavelle said. He was like, I've been to Ukraine. I know the players involved. The managers of the impeachment don't know what the hell they're talking about.
They have no idea.
They have no clue what they're
It's
talking
sad.
about. And they can be impeaching Donald Trump on a ton of other stuff. But once again, the corruption calendar shouldn't start with just Donald Trump. If he goes, a lot of the other people should go, right?
All of them.
Guys, get over to that GoFundMe. Get over to that Rockfin. Help us out. We are so excited. We are jazzed. Look at this. It's almost midnight, and we're jumping around. We're ready to do good work. We eat this stuff.
Yep.
It's been a great crew here since Johnny joined the whole group almost a year ago.
Johnny Video.
Johnny Video. Everything that's been unfolding, it's coming to, what's the word? The preface? When you kind of...
The precipice.
Thank you. See, and let me tell you something. To do the citizen journalism, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be the smartest guy in the room. You just have to have a passion to find the truth. And that's what I love to do. That's what Fiorella loves to do. We want to just get the truth out there. And Johnny, I think you've been taking the bull by the horns since you got right out of college and doing this. You came right from college right over here. You know what I was doing? I was going to a pool hall, going to the horse track. I wasn't taking care. So what he's doing, and it's really important that the younger generation get involved now, because in 20, 30 years from now, when I'm ready to leave this earth, this man over here, they're going to be taking the mantle.
20
when
years.
you get old too.
Well, you guys woke me up to all that because I had no idea about any of this stuff. Like, no idea about the military-industrial complex and the election fraud, blatant election fraud, all the lies the mainstream media tells. So,
yeah,
how can I just stand idly by?
Yeah. That's the thing. I think that's what separates the majority of people. It's like, at this point, like, how can you just stand by and just watch it, you know, especially in California where we just had the Grammys the other day. And I was talking to you about it. I was like, I can't remember the last time I've even watched that.
No.
And you know, and they're all there in their dresses and it's, you know, it's ridiculous. It just does not fit into what the world is doing. Let me not even mention the awful music that.
Yeah, your sister likes that
me,
stuff. Vanessa likes that. Happy birthday, Vanessa.
Vanessa loves that stuff because she's a Gen Z and they love that stuff. But I'm,
you know, I was at Ungi's house with the TV. I can't even watch anything now. I can't watch Hollywood no more. It's like TV's dead to me. Not the fact that I just think it's really bad, but in the fact that it's just so fake and there's such subliminal messages in everything they do. The Jack Black stuff was really, really disgusting. But you know,
Jack Black.
Not the Jack Ryan. Speaking of, that's the only thing we can watch is we watch Nacho Libre 1,000 times.
I'm sorry, you guys.
Do we not get a Nacho Libre soundbite yet?
No. I can't stand Jack Black, and I don't like that movie. And all Pasta's been doing with Johnny is watching that movie. And I need a vote. Do you guys love that movie or hate it? Because I hate it, and I'm just going to put it out there. Not a fan of Nacho Libre.
We have to take away from the politics at least a little bit. And it's got to be something ridiculous and stupid like that. So.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you, but Nacho Libre to me is the best. Nacho!
It's because pasta is nacho. That's why.
I want to win.
Pasta is Nacho Libre, literally.
I want to win. Well, Fiorella, I don't know why you're always judging me.
Tell me you agree.
Just because I believe in science.
Anyway. Can we do the video or no?
What, we do have another super chat contribution.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. $5 from Polara.
Hi,
Polara. Thank you, guys. Hey, guys, make sure you go over to the CONVO Couch YouTube. And Propaganda, same pasta. I hate Hollywood. Me too.
So we're gonna close out with the new Orf video.
Matt Orfalea, my man.
Yes.
Guys, thank you so much.
Orf.
You guys have been awesome today. It's been
one
fun.
video editor to the other one, he does amazing work.
Yes.
Yeah. This one's really good. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but
I haven't. Give me some volume. Let's do it.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, and I quote, "Call it democracy or call it democratic socialism, but there must be a better distribution of wealth within this country for all of God's children."
The poor, black and white, are still perishing on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity.
There is something immoral about 3 families in America owning more wealth than the bottom half of America.
Yes, the hour is dark. Evil comes forth in the guise of good. It is a time of double talk.
But I'm not advocating guns in classrooms, although in some cases teachers should have guns in classrooms.
Men in high places have a high blood pressure of deceptive rhetoric.
Alternative facts.
We cry out against welfare handouts to the poor.
The Trump administration is scaling back social safety net programs,
but generously approve an oil depletion allowance to make the rich richer.
The Dakota Access Pipeline.
Not only that, millions of dollars in federal subsidies every year.
The Trump administration has authorized $16 billion this year alone to agribusiness.
Millions, yes, billions are appropriated for mass murder.
Donald Trump today called for more and more military spending.
Senate passes $674 billion military spending bill. Every single Democratic senator supported the bill. Every Democratic senator supported the bill. One independent senator, Bernie Sanders, opposed it.
American people say, I can't afford to send my kid to college. I can't afford childcare. I can't afford housing. We need help there. But nobody listens to that. We don't have lobbyists here fighting for working families so they can find affordable housing or affordable prescription drugs. Now, Donald Trump has told literally thousands of lies, but the biggest lie was that he was going to stand up for working families.
What they truly advocate is socialism for the rich.
83% of the benefits of his tax bill go to the 1%.
A true revolution of values will soon look uneasily on the glaring contrast of poverty and wealth.
Which says to the billionaire class, you can't have it all.
Now we are dealing with issues that cannot be solved without the nation spending billions of dollars and undergoing a radical redistribution of economic power.
I didn't hear the establishment moaning about how radical and crazy it was that trillions of dollars left the pockets of the middle class. Now, when I'm talking about giving the middle class a break, all these guys
No,
are
you're
up
giving
in
a
arms.
normative argument. I agree with it. The question is, how do you get it done?
Our only hope today lies in our ability to recapture the revolutionary spirit.
Welcome to the political revolution. You want a candidate who is going to defeat Donald Trump? You're looking at that
Whenever Pharaoh wanted to prolong the period of slavery in Egypt, he had a favorite formula for doing it. What was that?
candidate. Doing what demagogues always do.
He kept the slaves fighting among themselves. But when the slaves get together, that's the beginning of getting out of slavery.
Staying together not as red state and blue state, but as working people. We must finally create a government and an economy that works for all of us, not just the 1%. And that is what I mean by democratic socialism.
These are revolutionary times. And we say to our nation tonight, we say to our